Hey everyone.
What's up? We're playing.
Yeah, we sat down here and Corey said, all right, it's your turn to go first. I was like, oh. All right.
Nothing was planned like always, but really I just texted her and she said, okay.
Yeah.
So here we are.
So, I had an opportunity today to attend a funeral of my husband's uncle, and it was neat. It was a beautiful service. It was a Catholic service, and just the prayers that were said and the scriptures that were read, and just the whole service was such a beautiful service, and there was such a feeling of peace there. It was just a beautiful thing to feel, and to be around his family, and just to feel the love that they have for one another, and that I have for them too. And it just made me realize how much peace there is in Christ, in the belief of Jesus Christ, that death isn't the end, that we continue, we move on, and it was neat. It was beautiful, the words that were said, and I love family. I love being around family and just feeling them, and it was good. It was a good day. I've had a really good day today, just feeling that. That was just the only thing.
Yeah, I mentioned in our last video, that's funny. I mean, I just went to a Catholic Mass Sunday, and it was a very powerful sermon that the preacher shared about how no greater love hath this than a man lay down his life for his friend. And the preacher shared a little story about an animal that gave its blood to save its children because there was a drought. The mom ended up dying and the babies survived, but that sacrifice, as parents, that is something that, we literally give our lives so that they can thrive, and that's it's the first time in my life that I'm able to do that. Like, my focus now is on how can I help my kids? How can I help other people around me? And my whole life has been so focused on how can I take care of me, and then I can help others. They can have the leftovers. But it was so much energy just poured into me. And just being around, there is so much good just everywhere you go. Everywhere you go, there's depending on where you choose to go, obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
But there is just so much beauty. Like, I sat there in it was Our Lady of the Lake in Mandeville, Louisiana. What a beautiful building. The stained glass windows.
Yeah.
And there's a huge crucifixion of Christ in the front, and
the candles,
some angels, and the Virgin, and the traditional stuff that Catholics do. Like, I don't understand a lot of it, but when we walked in, my buddy, he took the water and put it on his forehead and did the cross, Father, Son, Holy Ghost, and I was like, what was that? And he said, well, it's remembering our promise to follow Christ, remembering our baptism. It's kind of what we do on Sundays as sacrament, remembering, and that weekly reminder. And it's just, for somebody to tell me that that's not a bunch of just really good people there searching goodness and trying to apply good things in their life. God's gonna damn them to hell because they're not doing things the same way I am. It's just not.
Yeah, and they all went up, and I think, is it the Eucharist that they call it, the Eucharist instead of sacrament? Yeah, and they were, and just listening to the words, it's taking Him upon ourselves. It's like we're showing we want to be more like Christ. We just want to be more like Jesus, and that really, it takes away all of the labels. It takes away all of the different religions that we may be, if we're all just trying to follow Jesus, or even people who aren't necessarily believe in Jesus, it's just following goodness, following light, following those things that just are like kindness and all of the characteristics that Christ is, you know. It's just, it all is him. I mean, that's what I believe. But you said something too about sacrifice and just the way that we sacrifice so much for our children and all that. And it made me think about my little birds that I had on my balcony. I had like a month ago, I had a bird that started building a nest on my back porch, and I would just sit back there and watch it all day long. It was building this nest for like 2 weeks. And then it was incredible. Like, I actually watched the birds mating outside, like on my tree. There were like a few birds. I'm like, whoever sees that? Like, I've never seen that before in my life, like birds mating. And then
awesome.
it
Fulfilling their measure.
Yeah, absolutely. And then she came and she laid her eggs, and then she sat there on her eggs for 2 weeks while the male came and brought her food, and they may have taken turns, I don't know. But then she had those baby birds, and from the time the sun came up until it went down, all day long, the little mama bird and the daddy bird were constantly bringing food to those babies. And I just thought, I mean, I sat there watching this for a month, and it taught me so much, and it just showed me the way nature is, and the way that we truly are to be. You know, they just sacrificed everything to take care of what they had created, just constantly feeding it and nurturing it. And they were only there for a week after they hatched, and then they flew away. And then, you know, they just carry on, and that's just so much. It made me think about how much we sacrifice truly to bring children into this world, and to raise them, and just we sacrifice too. I shared something on my Facebook or on the stuff that I'm doing, talking about sacrifice, how it truly, to be healthy, it really takes a lot of sacrifice. It takes our time, it takes energy, it takes our intention, our devotion to change, to improve, to grow. It takes sacrificing all of those things that we feel like we can't live without, and that is so important to us. But whenever you truly start recognizing what is really most important, a lot of that kind of stuff just falls away, and you realize that the sacrifice is so worth it. I mean, you're sacrificing unhealthy stuff, you know.
Yeah, I love that. Whoever said it recently, but we're letting go of our favorite sins.
Yeah.
You know, those things that we just love so much, but we know are hurting us. And that's, earlier today I was thinking how much I love people just in general, all people. And then I sat back and I said, that's just kind of inaccurate. I love life. Like all around me, the trees, the animals, and and then my thought was, you know, out of all of them, and this isn't original thinking, this is out of all of the life around us, we're the only ones that walk around thinking about the past or thinking about the future. We're the only ones that carry guilt and carry shame. Out of all the life around us, they're just going around. I mean, I see these geese. I mean, they're just going around doing their thing and fulfilling their measure. They're living to the fullest of their ability. While, you know, it's amazing. And we have free will. We have the ability to choose to be better or to choose not to be. And it's just so wonderful to choose to progress and to choose to move forward. And no matter, I mean, I have been having my drama brought to me while I'm not in my drama anymore. It almost happens daily where my drama is brought into my life, and it's like I don't have drama. I'm not there. You're talking about something that just doesn't exist. And kind of throws people off, you know, because I don't engage in it. They're almost wanting me to, yeah, you're right, that is going on. Or it's like, no, that's just not going on. That is all in your head, and you are totally avoiding how you can progress by talking about me to me, about me, about people that I love, and about people that mean the world to me, and you're going to try and get me to cut them down because you think they're doing something that's not even happening.
Right.
It's just crazy how drama is something so many people are addicted to the point they want to get caught up in my drama that I'm not even a part of. It's just so wonderful to progress past that.
Oh, it is. It is, because it's all stories. It's just made up stuff that's just, we create so much in our head. Like, yeah, sitting here looking at these geese that they are just
happy,
so joyful. Like, they
definitely
have
happy.
I mean, they're not worried about what they're going to eat, where they're going to sleep. There's like just so much peace. And I love when I feel that way. Like, there's just nothing to worry about, because God really does. He just takes care of us.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah. We are all alive and thriving, even if we're wondering where our next meal is going to come from. I mean, somehow the person on the road that's bumming money makes it through the day. I mean, I choose not to be that person. I could be that person pretty easily if I chose to be, but he could also choose not to be that person. I mean, it's a process, obviously. I mean, it's mental illness, addictions, everything that goes with it. But we really are taken care of. And how much time do we spend worrying and stressing about where am I going to get enough to pay this bill and that bill? But every month goes by and it's like the bills are paid. I don't know how, you know, but it does. It just happens.
And if you get evicted, well, you know, I mean, you find someone to go bum with and sleep. You know, it's like, I don't know. It just seems like we truly are taken care of.
Yeah.
It is really quite amazing. It really is.
It is, even if times aren't comfortable.
Yeah.
It's opportunities to grow.
They all are.
You know, instead of like, oh man, this is so heavy, this hurts so much. How about, I am going through a very difficult time right now, and what can I learn?
Yeah. Instead of being a victim, being a student. Someone had mentioned that recently.
Yeah.
We're students. We're not victims of everything. I mean, we're learning. We're all learning and growing, and some things are just really hard to learn. But those are the things that really define us and help us to get rid of all the stuff that really doesn't need to be there. It helps to mold us, like we've been talking about, and then it helps us to be able to be of service to others, to lift others, you know.
Yeah, it does. Where I'm at right now in my life, for the first time, I am actually able to be of service to others.
Me too.
Because I'm not in this constant battle with myself. And when a person is just torn in so many different directions and just so sick, it's not possible to be of service.
Yeah, and you know, it's interesting to truly think about my past and to think about all that I have done in my life, because I have lived a life of a lot of service. I mean, we just have, you know, I mean, we were raised to serve others, and so that has been part of my life, but understanding what I understand today and recognizing my behaviors in the past, I can see so differently that I was never in a place of truly being able to serve others with that Christ-like love that flows through, that's not anything about me. It's all about, it's outward, it's about other people. It's being able to help others. Because a lot of times we serve out of like this expectation that this is what we're supposed to be doing, or a codependency, you know, or what am I going to get from it, or there's reasons for the service.
For sure.
You know, we got the check mark. We did something we were supposed to do. And, you know, when you come from a place of just this fullness of the Spirit, and the Spirit guiding you to serve, that's where it comes from love. Not like, I have to do this and this and this and this, and I should be doing this and this. But when the Spirit moves you to serve others, it just comes from a completely different place.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm just I'm learning this now.
Yeah, there are so many good examples in my life of people that just serve with true Christ-like, just love, and have dedicated their whole lives to that. And with no judgment, I've seen also people that serve because they feel like that's what they're supposed to do. And that's what I've done in the past, so people are expecting it of me, and they almost do the service and don't really get anything out of it because they're kind of resentful while doing it. I've been guilty of that.
Me too.
You know,
like, I don't want to go do that.
Yeah, and even through all that, afterwards you get a good feeling because you did service, and it brings you back to doing it. But that's just not what it's about. You know, it really is about from just pure love, and I want to be that. I want to do that, and I'm working towards being that type of person because it's just such a great quality that I see in a lot of men and women that are in my life. Like the priest and the deacon and the other people that were there serving Sunday at the mass that I went to, it's like they've dedicated their entire life to serving. You know? And that is... wow, I mean, what a commitment. I spent many, I'd say like 3 or 4 years just dedicated my life to studying Mother Teresa of Calcutta, and she was just the perfect example of pure Christ-like love, of somebody that didn't just talk the talk. I mean, she went among the poor. She dedicated her entire life to just service, and she had a beautiful life. She never really had anything, but she, possession-wise, she had more abundance than anybody that I've ever read about. Though she was just so full of gratitude, and I mean, there are very few people that have lived that are like her. She was an amazing woman, and has influenced my life a lot. When it comes to love and just, you know, that she was an amazing example. But there's so many people that just do that. They just serve, and they have that desire to love other people, and you know, that's
what I want to be.
For the first time in my life, that's what I'm able to be. You know. I mean, I'm finally in a place where I'm not so wrapped up and absorbed with myself that I can be present and do those things. And that's who you are being. You know, that's no longer who you want to be. That's who you are. Right. You know, and it's... I was talking about this yesterday, and, you know, it's not, and I've said it before, it's not some miracle. Yeah, it is a miracle, whatever, about the miracle thing. But what's going on in my life did not happen overnight. You know, I've been on this road of getting into recovery and fighting for years. I mean, this has been going on for a long time. And for the first time in my life, it's like there's just, it's different. Something is different. And people say, oh, it's been different so many times. But it's just, it feels My life is just
different.
And that's the difference, is it just doesn't matter. My life is different. You know, I just feel different. And I am aware that the adversary can take a person back. You can change, and that temptation is always present. It's always right here. They talk about your addiction is out there doing push-ups while you're sitting at home relaxing. You know, I mean, it's always out there, ready to take me whenever if I allowed it. You know, but I just don't. I don't know. It's just
I don't want to ever go back
it's
there.
Just not
it's just
there.
Like, I know what it takes to stay here, and
Yeah.
it's really not as hard as I always thought it was. It made it be. It's like
so amazing.
That's what it is. It's like I was thinking. It was yesterday or the day before. It's like I love the routines and the habits that I have in my life today. Like I do a lot of the same things, you know, but I love it. I mean, I really do. And it's like I'm just in a little apartment. It's surrounded by concrete, you know. I mean, I would much rather be in nature. You know, I could say all the things I would rather, but my life, like I love my life today. So it's like I could be anywhere and be absolutely happy. I could be doing anything and be happy. Like I was doing my laundry and I was just like, I find joy in spraying my clothes and washing them and having fresh clothes. Like I find joy in like the mundane things that people just like complain about having to do. And I'm just like, I'm so grateful. Like I have so much gratitude about having a washer, having a dryer. You know, as I find gratitude throughout my day, it just it's good. Everything is just good. Yeah. It's really crazy. It sounds crazy, but you can actually live this way and not be on drugs. You know, it's like there's just a peacefulness. It's just it really, for me personally, I would not be this way without Jesus Christ. You know, just how I started this, just feeling the hope, feeling the peace, just knowing that there's a purpose, just recognizing that there's such a bigger purpose than just what we're doing. Like, you know, when there's death and loss and you're so close to it, and there's just this huge change, it just really puts you into that eternal perspective. It takes you out of like this myopic, this moment. It broadens your vision and just helps you to see that this life is such a blink. I mean, it's so short, and the important thing is just to find the joy, to experience the bliss, to do all those things that will create that, and living in the drama, and finding all of the chaos, and just living in all of that negative energy. You know, all of us can rise above it. Yeah. We can, and you know, it doesn't happen overnight. For some people it might, but most people it does not. You know, it just takes daily making choices to bring in more light, to do higher vibing things, to surrender your will over to something that is so much better and bigger and easier. It's just so much easier and so much more simple.
Yeah, on the ride over here, I was thinking that since the 4th of this month, which was the Saturday, I think, Fast Sunday, before Sunday, and then we went to the camp Monday and did a recording there, I have not done anything in my life in the last 9 or 10 days without complete intention. I have been living completely 100% with intention in my life for 9 or 10 days now. And I don't think I've ever had a stretch like that. Where, I mean, like everything from the moment I wake up in the morning to the time I go to bed at night, I have had purpose and I have had intention. I've been doing things conscious and aware, to the point where I can tell you, like, every single thing I've eaten in the last 10 days. I could probably sit here and tell you every single thing I've eaten in the last 10 days. It's that simple. You know, I've been on this crazy diet, and it's not even a diet. I'm just choosing high energy foods. I'm choosing high energy activities, and I'm choosing to vibrate at a higher frequency because it feels so good. I am getting addicted to feeling good.
Yeah.
And I mean, what better addiction could a person have? And I know I need to be, I don't know. I mean, it's so good. Why limit that? You know? And I'm not obsessing over it. I just have no desire for a candy bar. Okay, the worst thing I take in my body is a Diet Coke. Well, actually, the Rockstar I drank. That would probably... And, I mean, who cares? That's not even the point. The point is I'm doing things with intention. Caffeine is an issue in my life still. And, I mean, that's not even the point of... It's just... I'm not carrying guilt about that. I am living with intention in my life. And it's a whole different way to live. I have never lived this way before. Every second that I'm with my kids, I just love them. And I spend time with them. And my 8-year-old's constantly, like, she'll do something and she says, I'm sorry. And it's like, you don't ever have to be sorry to me. Ever. I'm not going to get mad about anything. She said, well, what if I take this smoothie? I just got her a smoothie. What if I take the smoothie and dump it on the ground right now? I'm going to wonder why you did it, you know, but I promise I'm not going to get mad, but I'm going to make you clean it up. And I mean, but what would be the point? She's like, well, I was just wondering. I'm like, no, I mean, it was kind of funny. She wanted to see what her limits are or something. It's like, I'm present and I love being with them, and it's like, I don't want her to have that sorry. I said, you are not a sorry person. You are a adorable 8-year-old. You don't have to be sorry. You know, it's like she's scared she's gonna ask me to go to the park one too many times, and I'm gonna get mad because I'm guilty of it in the past. You know, I'm just too busy. No, stop asking. And it's like, no, we will go to the park. Just give me a little bit of time. I just got home.
It's so nice to be present because it just takes away all that. Like spending time with my kids today. I mean, it feels so good. It does, to not be wrapped up in just stuff outside, you know, and just to be
outside of the
and
now.
No rush. Just enjoying being around the people that we're around. Yeah. It's good. It really is.
It is. Life is too good to get wrapped up in yesterday and worried about tomorrow. It's all going to take care of itself. You know, like the Lord's Prayer, give me this day my daily bread, and that's all we need. It's all we need. And today I've been taken care of. And it didn't come without doing anything. You know, I still want to do the things that are necessary to keep this going because it just feels so good. And it's available for everybody in the world. If you are a suffering addict, if you are suffering with mental illness, if you have so many worries and stresses, it can all stop. It doesn't have to continue. But it does start with, what can I do right now different? That's all we have. Life is beautiful. Love y'all.
All right.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
All right.
Y'all have a good day.
Bye, y'all.